Hi there guys, it's Tom Voyage here. Now today we're trying something a little bit different. We'll be cooking this pizza using an air fryer of all things. Let's go. So air fryers are really popular nowadays, and I see more and more videos online of people cooking everything from chicken wings to toast to pancakes and even pizza on these type of air fryers. Now I don't currently own an air fryer, so when Typhur reached out to me with the offer of sending me one of these air fryers for a review, I thought it was a great time to make this video. So in today's video, I'm going to be cooking two types of pizza. I'm going to be making a homemade pizza where I've made my own dough, my own toppings, all that kind of stuff. And we're also going to be cooking a frozen pizza because apparently these are great for the frozen types of pizza that you get from the supermarket as well. Now the purpose of this video is to see the kind of quality of pizza that these air fryers produce and to see if they're a good option for those homes where you don't have much space and you want an all-rounder that can cook everything, including pizza. So before we get started cooking pizza, I want to tell you a little bit more about this model. This is the Typhur Dome 2 air fryer. Now, as I've never used an air fryer before, I thought this one was perfect because it's super easy to use. You literally get it out of the box, take the packaging off, you plug it in and you're ready to go. The other thing that makes it great is there's plenty of presets on here. So as you can see, we've got a pizza preset, there's bacon, steak, wings, air fryer, toast, grill and preheat. Now there's loads of options there, but if you wanted even more options of the presets, you can download the app which gives you full access to all the presets available for this oven. The other reason that I like the look of this one is because of the size. Now obviously a lot of air fryers, especially the big ones, have two separate baskets, which is great if you're cooking things like chips or French fries or wings, but for something like pizza, you need that room. So this one, you can see, has a large capacity basket and you can fit up to a 12-inch pizza in here. Also, this tray in it comes out, so you can use this whole area for a nice deep pizza with plenty of toppings on as well. Another thing I liked about this air fryer is it has a signature airflow system, which is its own design. It also has two heating elements, one on the top and one on the bottom. Now that's going to help when creating a crispy base for your pizza, and it's also going to mean that it cooks your pizza nice and quickly as well. Now alongside that large capacity, it has a 50% noise reduction from the Typhur Dome 1, which was the previous model, and it also has a self-cleaning function, so it makes it super easy to keep clean and maintain. So you can see here we have all the different modes. Now if you hold down these two buttons, you can get the Wi-Fi mode, which means you can connect it to the app. And if you hold down the two temperature buttons up and down, that changes it from Celsius to Fahrenheit. We're here in the UK, so we use Celsius. Now you can see all of these different options. If you just touch the screen, it gives you different options there. So if you go up to grill, I think that gives you the hottest temperature, which is 230 degrees. So if we turn that to Fahrenheit, it'll show you 435. That's about as hot as this air fryer will go. But if we take it to the pizza selection, which we're using today, change it back to Celsius so I know what I'm talking about, 170. Now I was quite surprised. I think that's quite a low temperature for pizza, but it is cooking for 14 minutes. So this is more likely to give us that New York style crust where you cook it for longer at a lower temperature. And for that reason, I would recommend using an all-purpose strong bread flour for your pizza dough rather than using the 00 type of flour, which is more commonly used in your Neapolitan style pizzas cooked on a hotter oven. So we're ready to cook our pizza. So first things first is we need to remove this basket and take this tray, this perforated tray, out because we're not going to be using that today. We're going to be cooking the pizza directly on here. I'll then put that back in, make sure that pizza mode is selected, and we're going to press the start button. Now that's going to give us 8 minutes while this preheats. So you can hear there that the fan has started, so it's not overly noisy, and there is some air coming out the back of the air fryer now. So here we have some dough balls. As I mentioned before, I did quite a low hydration, about 60% for these, and just used an all-purpose flour because of the way this type of air fryer cooks pizza. So while this is in preheat mode, it gives us a good chance and a good time to make our pizzas on the peel and get them ready to go inside the air fryer. So we're going to start by putting a bit of the semolina onto our board, and then taking our dough ball. These are about 250 gram dough balls, ideal for a 12-inch pizza. Spread that around, turn it over, and just use our fingers to make a nice pizza shape with the crust. Then I like to pick the pizza dough up, just stretch it over my knuckles like this to get it to about 12-inch. Always helps if you're using a 12-inch board, you can kind of see where you need to be. So now we've stretched our pizza dough out, it's time to put some toppings on. So first we'll add our pizza sauce in the middle. Then we'll go on with a bit of our mozzarella. And now we're down to our final 30 seconds of heat up time, so we'll finish off this pizza with a bit of pepperoni. And then you can see here, it's at 17 seconds, so once we're there, we'll be ready to pop this pizza on. So the preheat is done, our air fryer is ready, and because we use the app as well, I actually got a notification on my Apple Watch that this was done, which is a nice little feature that I didn't actually know happened. So no matter where you are in the house, it'll tell you when your preheat's done. So we're going to launch this pizza into the air fryer now. I've never done this before, so it might be a bit tricky, but we'll give it a go. So we'll get our tray out of the air fryer. Just make sure that that's nice and loose on there. I'm going to slip that in. It's just fallen to the side a little bit, so I'm just going to drag it back across into the middle. You can see because it's got that non-stick surface, it slides around nice and easily on there. Whoops. So carefully pop that back in, keeping it in the middle. And all we do, it's already got pizza selected, so we press play, and that's going to set our timer for 14 minutes at a temperature of 170. Now you can alter these if you did want to, but I'm going to leave it on the preset for now. So we'll come back in 14 minutes and see what our pizza looks like. So we're approaching the end now of our 14 minutes. I did check it a couple of times while it was in there. You can just pull the drawer out slightly and check it, and it pauses the time. So we're down to our 5 seconds left now. So we'll hear a chime that tells us it's done. And let's check out the reveal of this pizza. Wow. Look at that for an air fryer. And that's pretty good results. So we'll move it onto here so we can take a closer look. Okay, here we go. So as I said, this pizza dough that I used was one that I specifically designed to use in a home oven, which means it's more adapted to those lower temperature cooks for longer. Now you can see there's a nice crispy crust on here. All of our toppings have melted nicely. There's some nice charring on the pepperoni there. And if I put it down here, we'll check the base, see what that looks like. You can see the colour on that base. A lot of people always ask me how to get that crispier crust on pizza and a crispier base, and I always say the same thing. Lower hydration dough, longer cooking time at a lower temperature, and this has done exactly that. So if you're into your crispy pizzas, this might be the way to go for you. There is some big air bubbles in this. Now, that might be down to the dough. This might be one of those cases where you have to try a few different doughs to see which one works best. And remember, you can always change the settings on the air fryer as well. So it's going to be one of those balances where you have to try different doughs and try different settings on the air fryer as well. But it's certainly very crispy for a pizza, which I quite like, to be honest. So we'll do a taste test. Do you know what? For a first attempt, having never used an air fryer before, I'm very impressed. The crust is crispy. You can see under there. The toppings are done nicely, and the cheese is melted but not burned on top. So overall, I think that's pretty good for a first go. So now let's try cooking a frozen pizza on the Typhur Dome 2. So here's the frozen pizza we're going to be cooking. This one's from Aldi. Now, I've seen videos online of people trying to cook these in the smaller air fryers where they're chopping them in half, chopping them in quarters, and trying to get them to fit. So having this air fryer that's got the size and the space to cook up to a 12-inch pizza is great. So let's get this on, but before we do, if you do like the look of this air fryer and you wanted to learn more about it, I'll leave some links in the description. If you've got any questions or comments, you can leave them down below, and if you are enjoying this video, please remember to like and subscribe. So to set up the cook for our frozen pizza, we're using the app. You can see here, we click on the frozen pizza button, we click on start cook, and then it gives us a slightly hotter temperature because this one's frozen. And then when we click start, it's going to ask us to preheat the oven before we get the pizza in. So 4 minutes of preheating, and then we'll add the pizza in. So our preheat is now finished. It was only 4 minutes this time because the oven was already hot. So we'll pop our frozen pizza in. Just make sure it's in the center there. Put it back in the air fryer. Click start, and then where are we? Cook. And then we're going to wait our 14 minutes and we'll see how this one looks. Okay, so we've got a few seconds left now of cooking the frozen pizza, and this time I didn't check it, so it's going to be a surprise what it looks like. So we've got the notification on the watch, and wow, look at this. So again, looks like good results. We've got a nice crispy crust on this pizza, very crispy in fact. The cheese is all melted on the top. And the base, you can see we've got some nice colour on there as well. And it's resulted in a good crispy pizza. So what do I think to cooking pizza on an air fryer? Well, of course, you're not going to get the same results as you would on a traditional wood-fired pizza oven where you're cooking pizza on a traditional pizza stone. I did tend to find that cooking pizza in an air fryer tends to dry out the crust a little bit. Now that's all right if you like a crispy crust, but if you want those big fluffy crusts you get on a traditional Neapolitan style pizza, you're not going to be able to do it on this type of oven. But you've got to remember that we're talking about an air fryer here. It's a device that's designed to sit on your worktop. It's nice and compact, it's small, it runs quietly, and it can still fit a 12-inch pizza in here. It's designed to cook all manner of foods, including pizza, and it's a great all-rounder if you haven't got the space for an outdoor oven, or if you've got a family where you like to cook loads of different meals, then this could be the type of oven that's ideal for you. So thanks very much for watching this video. I hope you found it useful. If you did find it useful, please remember to like and subscribe. If you've got any questions or comments, you can leave them down below. And if you wanted to buy one of these air fryers, I'll leave some links in the description below too. Thanks very much for watching, and please join us next time for more pizza making videos. See you later.